Well, good evening, folks. Since I'm a big loudmouth, I didn't want to do the two old cars together, film them in one shot, so I figured I would do one night, like I did this one last night, this big town car. And yeah, I figured now I'll do the Camaro, which I'm sure is all owned by the same guy, and if not, well, if it's somebody else who owns that Lincoln, well, or the Camaro, then it's probably because of this guy who's got like at least 6-7 old cars, you know, including that truck, the GMC stepside Caballero, the 58 Biscayne. Would love to film that car. I mean, you know, me, I've been lost in the fucking 50s since I was a kid. But anyway, aside from the guy who just passed me who stunk to high heaven, this is a 78 to 81 Camaro, and unless you're from the western provinces or the states, when was the last time you saw a Camaro with hubcaps? Tell you a story. The first time I saw this car last year, I used to do house cleaning for seniors, you know, back in the day. And when I mean back in the day, I mean like 99, 2000. And most of the clients were in they were in fucking Côte Saint Luc, you know. And I had this one client every week I would go see her. She was a really nice old lady, typical nice old lady. She had an old house, and everything in her house was old or antiquated, so much so that she had an old antiquated Electrolux vacuum that must have been from the late 50s, I think, or early 60s, that I would use, of course. But I remember on the way there I would usually see a Camaro just like that, about 78 to 81. And it was this, it looked like, I think it was a repaint on it. It was a sort of a, I don't know, more of a modern type of blue color. I don't know how to describe it. The type of blue, shade of blue you would see on cars from Cuba that were repainted. But the thing that was cool about it is that even the rims were the same color, and it had the small dog dish hubcaps on it. How cool is that, you know? Jeez, it's a fucking busy street, eh? No wonder they got two fucking bike paths here, you know? Me personally, I think it's fucking ridiculous. Personally, you know, this is a waste of fucking money. You don't need to have two of this shit. I mean, Christ, you pick a side and that's it. Anyway, I don't want to go into it. Oh, look at this. Looks like the man did a compound cleaning job on that fender there. It's all shiny and everything. Yeah, right on there, eh? With the setting sun. Anyway, I got a lot of respect for guys like this because they're a dying breed. In the city specifically, I mean, this guy doesn't give a shit about parking. He fucking owns a whole bunch of old cars. He's addicted. He's got the bug. I mean, listen, if I had been born with a normal eyesight, how many fucking cars do you think I would own? Doesn't matter, even matter what condition they're in or whether they fucking run or not. It's the passion. It's the obsession. You know? Ah, now, look at that, the interior color of this. Now I have narrowed it down. This is, I think, a 78 or 79. How do I know? Because that blue color on the inside, just like the outside, that was a 78, 79 color. I know because I've had a 78 Caprice. My dad had a 79 Delta 88. Hey, look at that. It's got dual exhaust on it. What the fuck? She's a sleeper, eh? Ah, right on. Anyway, you know, it's funny because normally I don't really film these cars. Not too many years ago, I wouldn't have really filmed any of these cars because they're still pretty common. But to see one that's a daily driver in that condition in this part of the world, it's getting rare, man. You know, all the shit boxes, most of them all gone to the fucking scrapyard. So that's it. I wanted to do a little video. It's in good shape. You can see it wasn't winter driven. Look, it still has that dealer optional, what do you call it? A fucking, it's like a key lock protector, so when when you go to put your key in, you don't fuck up the paint when you miss the key lock. So right on, good stuff. Look at that, eh? A Mini and a Fiat. Yeah, fucking sign at a times, man. Anyway, that guy, I've met this guy who's got this and the other old cars. This guy's a man after my own heart. I mean, the guy's a boomer. I have a boomer's mentality, even though I'm 41. I'm going to be 42 this year, but like I just said, I got a boomer's mentality, and as for tiny cars, pretty much I fucking hate all of them. Every one of these cars. I don't care how jazzy they are. I just love big cars. Bigger cars, or mid-sized cars. You know, actually, that's the one thing I forgot to mention about that Camaro. It's funny because, you know, years ago, this wasn't even considered to be a full-size car, but today, in this day and age, it's considered to be a boat. I mean, with that long-ass hood, It's a fucking boat. The car probably weighs about 3,500 pounds, which is a lot of weight for a car for today. So, and let's not forget also, I want to mention one more thing. You could actually still get a V6 in those cars. Back in the day, for those of you who are younger, don't know much about old cars, a V6 or a straight six for that matter was always a base motor for most cars in those years, except of course for the luxury cars like the Cadillac or the Lincoln, things like that. So anyway, pressing on here on a beautiful evening, enjoying the hot and comfortable weather. Take care. Adios. Bonne soirée. Adios. Ciao.